All right, fam. We're gonna try this again. Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, now I just got to figure out how I can add to. Um, all right. If you can hear me, if you watching, you can hear me. Can you put a thumbs up in the chat? If you can hear me, a thumbs up in the chat would be great. If you can hear me, a thumbs up in the chat would be great. I don't know why this thing keep. All right, that's good. That's good. So I'm the only one in this joint right now. So I'm gonna give myself and see if that thumbs up come up. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. All right, family. Listen, I'm just trying to I'm just trying to figure this thing out, right? Anyway, it's your guy Chief from Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. Listen, I'm happy to be back with the family this evening. I'm just trying to make sure that I get this thing right because I've never live streamed before. Philly Cigar John is not here um, this evening. She is traveling. She is traveling. She's doing some birthday stuff with her girlfriend, and so yeah, it's just the SBS family and Chief this evening. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on right now in the world of entertainment, in the world of sports, in the world of politics, and when it comes to love and relationships, it's something going on every day. So we're gonna dig into it a little bit this evening. We're gonna have a good time. We're not gonna stay for a long time, but hoping some folks come on in and join us because I'm trying to act like I know what I'm doing. But we're gonna figure it out together, right? We're gonna figure this thing out together. So um if you are in our Facebook group, want to invite you to come on in. Matter of fact, I don't know if I can go live on both or not. Let me see. It says I can share this. Okay, cool. Let's see. Um, Wants me to enter my phone number so I can log in and share this. So, family, give me a quick second so I can see if I can log in so I can share this across our platform over on Facebook. Give me one quick second. Nope, it's not letting me in. Oh well, we tried, right? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hey, listen, ain't no shame in my game, right? I'm trying to figure this thing out. Ain't no shame in my game. I'm just trying to, just trying to, just trying to figure it out, right? So I ain't gonna spend too much time trying to figure it out, but I am trying to figure it out. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I think if I do this, I can copy the link and then I can go to I can go to my Facebook and I think I can share the link over on my Facebook. I think I could delete this, and then I think I want to go in and I want to add the link right here. Uh, I gotta try that one more time. Try it one more time. Let's see. Copy. And let's go over here to Facebook. See if we can paste it. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it do. Let's see if it make it do what it do. There we go. There we go. We sharing it over on Facebook now. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if I can put these screens, make these screens side by side. Y'all come on in here. Listen, come on up in here and spend a little bit of time with me. My first time live streaming since we started the SBS show, right? So, yeah, feel free, come on in, spend some time with Chief, right? While I'm figuring out what I'm doing right here, right now. Okay. And so we're gonna have a good time. Let's get into it though. Let's just talk about some of the stuff that's going on. And listen, feel free to throw something in the chat. You know, I'm seeing that this thing is kind of froze up on me. I'm not sure why, but I'm looking at my Facebook and it's looking like it's kind of freezing up. But I'm gonna tell you, family, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out by hook or by crook. Cause again, I'm new at this whole live streaming thing, and I don't have my partner here with me today, Philly Cigar John. She is traveling. It's some birthday shenanigans going on. So yeah, she's out of the state. She's over in I guess that would be considered the Midwest, where she is. But let's get into it. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on with this whole Diddy situation. I don't know if you all have had an opportunity to get into it. And people say, listen, people say, why you worried? Why are people worried about somebody else's business and this, that, and the other thing? I'm gonna tell you something. When you in public life, like you give yourself up to public consumption, you give yourself up to public opinion, the court of public opinion, right? You give yourself up to a lot of different stuff. So um that's why people are, you know, concerned, and that's why people are talking about it, right? Because um that's the nature. That's the nature of it, right? So I know a buddy of mine sent me some information, and then that information that he sent me, the documents that he sent me, it was a lot of stuff in there about Diddy, and a lot of stuff that's going on with that whole case. So it's kind of crazy. Um, and what are your thoughts? Like, you know, put something in the comments. At least let me know you out there and breathing. You know what I mean? Give me a thumbs up or something, right? Get a brother a thumbs up or something. It's my first time going live. So, you know, show me some love and show me some grace, right? As we get into this evening. Again, I want to recognize our sponsor, Huck Spirits, www.huckspirits.com. The best sangria around. In fact, I got some right here. Actually, got a couple bottles right here. We got the Huck Spirits Love Deluxe blend right here, and we also have the Jolly Rancher, which we have also. So, yeah, give me a thumbs up and just let me know what you think. And so, in the world of sports, we know that Russell Wilson um, is going to be released by the Denver Broncos. I tell you what, though, Russell played it real smart because it came out that the coach was intentionally trying to provoke him. Had he provoked him, it could have caused Russell to lose like $85 million on his contract, because you know they could have hit him with, you know, conduct, unbecoming, things of that nature. So a lot of people thought that Russell Wilson was kind of chumping out, letting the coach get in his face, talk to him the way he talked to him, treat him the way that he treated him. However, he was smart, right? And that's where that emotional intelligence comes in. That emotional intelligence is the reason that Russell Wilson is now going to depart. And over 2 years, they're going to have to pay him $85 million. They got to pay him $85 million. So, shout out to Russell Wilson for being able to have that type of resolve and to be able to stand on his manhood that way, and just not feel that it was a threat to his manhood or a question of his manhood, because he understood the assignment. And the assignment is always to take care of your family and to protect your family and also to protect your interests. So shout out to him. Um, this whole political thing, it's kind of wild. I'm gonna get off of here before the State of the Union, because we have the president on this evening with the State of the Union address. We got Donald Trump out there saying a lot of wild stuff about black voters. His son is out there saying stuff about his experience with black voters. And I mean, who knows if this stuff is true or not? Um, but they're saying like 23% of all black voters who are polled right now are saying that they're going to vote for Donald Trump. So, hey, listen, you vote for your interests, right? And if you feel like, Biden or Trump or whoever, right, is going to be best for whatever your economic interests are, whatever your political interests are, if you have children, whatever your educational interests are, then I would just hope that you would vote for your interests. And then again, getting back into this whole relationship thing, we know P. Diddy was I don't know, I guess he was paying Young Miami or whatever to be in a relationship, but so much is coming out with that whole situation now. It's just kind of crazy. They saying that he's making R. Kelly look like a choir boy for real. So I guess we'll stay tuned. We also got the situation with our sister Fani Willis down in Georgia. If you're gonna be the DA in a jurisdiction and you're gonna be trying the former president, um, in one of the biggest cases in modern, probably the biggest political case in modern history, you got to make sure your stuff is right. You got to make sure your stuff is right. You got to make sure your stuff is tight. Um, and so all this stuff that's coming out with Fannie and Nathan Wade, it just doesn't make the sister look good. Um, it doesn't make her team look good, but more importantly, it doesn't make her look good. Nathan Wade, I mean, really, I mean, he got the money. He got the money, he got the loot, he gets to go and live out his life. She may, now he might have some legal problems because there's some implications that he may not have been totally truthful under oath. I heard a long time ago in a courtroom, I heard a long time ago, a lie is not a lie unless you're under oath, right? In the legal world. So they were under oath when they testified to many things that they said. But who knows? Like, but more importantly, this world that we living in today, if you have children um, under the age, I'm gonna say under the age of 21, um, this world that we living in today, right? When we look at circumstances with, you know, education, public education, um, access, to resources, when we look at, you know, communities where our young people can get a hold of guns quicker than they can get a hold of a piece of fresh fruit, um, you know, can get a hold of guns easier than they can get a hold of textbooks. Um, you know, if you are a young parent with young children growing up, like you really have to protect your children physically, but more importantly, you got to protect their mental. You have to protect their mental health, right? You have to protect what they're exposed to, right? Online, um, on television, on those cell phones that we all carry around. Like there's so many protections that you have to put in place, so many safeguards and guardrails, while at the same time having some limited exposure, allowing your kid to have some limited exposure. Why? Because you don't want them to get out here in this world, especially this wolf eaten world, this world full of wolves. You don't want them to get out and just not be prepared at all for the world that they're going to face out here, right? So you have to find a balance in protecting them, protecting their interests, protecting your interests as a parent. um, all of the stuff that we see going on social media. And then I'm hearing recently that the TikTok that we have access to is not the same TikTok that people in China have access to. Like I'm finding I'm learning that they're, if it's true, two different types of TikTok, right? And that they're not allowing certain exposure to their citizens in China, where TikTok is exposing us to everything over here in the United States. And so there's just so much going on. It looks like this year, 2024, is the year of exposure, right? It's the year that people have been doing things in the dark, evidently, for many years. And if you're a God-fearing person, you believe in the Bible, and talks about, what's done in the dark shall come to the light, right? So with that being said, it's just a lot going on. And you know, a lot of these stories that are coming forward now, evidently, these things have been going on for a very long time. And people are now coming forward, and they are exposing some of these celebrities. And of course, the whole Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. um, if the things that he said were true, um, you know, it shows you how deep it is. I mean, now we can question the veracity of some of the statements that Cat Williams made. However, I mean, to date, like, people have given some defense of themselves based on some of the things he said, but at no point in their defense have they called him a liar. you know um and I think that's important. They haven't called the brother a liar. And so uh some people would think that maybe, hey, maybe you just ignore those things that are said, maybe you don't give them the attention or the time of day. Maybe no. When we talk about this whole entertainment industry, Meek Mill's, having to go on Instagram and Twitter and or X, and make comments about defending his sexuality. Now, you know, we live in a world now where I don't think, regardless of what your preference is, we live in a world now where people really don't have to be ashamed um, of whatever their preference is, right? Because we just kind of live in a world of acceptance, right? Um, and I'm not saying that every one of us as individuals um, have the same level of acceptance, but I'm just saying society in general seems to have this acceptance for kind of living the way you want to live, um, living a lifestyle you want to live, and basically, theoretically, it's your business, right? Theoretically, now in practice, maybe not so much, because in practice, people put their business out there, right? Like, if I'm walking around in the supermarket and you look like me, you dress the way I'm dressed, in a masculine manner or what have you, whatever your life is really your business. Now, you can choose to share, because in passing, I might just be you know, courteous, just as a gentleman, from one gentleman to another. I might say, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" Hey, a person is dressed looking like me might stop and say, "I don't identify as bro. I identify as XYZ." Well, from all appearances, I may not, I may not know that, or actually, I wouldn't know that. But now you've invited me in, and you're sharing with me, right? How you personally identify, and how you personally live your life, where all I was doing was speaking, right? And the whole speaking piece is nebulous and innocent, with no intent. And that's what we got to deal with in life too. We got to start looking at intent, right? People get really offended sometimes and almost as if they've lost the definition of intent, right? Because we have to think about what the intent is. So if I'm walking in the supermarket and you got a really nice hat on and you got a nice blazer on, right? You can't say that I'm being presumptuous. You could say I'm being presumptuous, but I don't think it's fair to say I'm being presumptuous if I say, "Hey, what's up, bruh?" And you say, "That's not how I identify." Matter of fact, I don't identify with any male or masculine type pronouns, right? And then if you get upset and you get an attitude with me, then I think you off base and I think you off point. And here's why. Because I think that intent has become lost on don't get out the gate, right? Well, you know full well. Because if you have ordinary sense, you know when someone intends to do harm. You know when someone intends to disrespect, and you know when it's unintended. So when it's unintended, you should deal with unintended situations differently than you deal with intended situations. You understand what I'm saying? Like if a kid is walking down the street and he says, "I just want to throw a ball through Miss Jones' window just because I want to be delinquent, just because I just want to do something bad to Miss Jones." And he throw a baseball through Miss Jones' window, right, with nefarious intentions. That is not the same as me and my son playing catch in the backyard, and one of us throws the ball a little high, and the baseball go through Miss Jones' window, right? Intent matters, right? Now, the impact might be the same, but the intent is different. So why is the intent different? Miss Jones don't have to go searching around the neighborhood and calling the police to try to figure out why the baseball came through a window when it's me and my son playing catch. Because we're gonna go knock on the door. We're gonna apologize to Miss Jones, and we're gonna talk about what we can do to get her window repaired and get it repaired immediately and cover the cost. And we're also gonna apologize for any inconvenience. The kid who just decided he doesn't like Miss Jones and wanted to throw the baseball through her window had a different intent. So, in public, in society, if you have pronouns or you have identifiers that you want to go by, and people don't know you personally, people have never experienced you, um, they hold the door for you, and you say thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am. If that's not how you identify and a stranger doesn't know that, don't get out the gate on them. And why am I saying that? I've personally seen that in real life. And then guess what? We already know social media mirrors real life. I've seen it on social media, right? Because what do people do nowadays? You know what they do? They pull the phones out. The minute the minute a conflict starts, there's somebody pulling a camera out somewhere. Then you hear these arguments, and we know what people always say, right? People always say, what do they say? Well, what was going on before the camera started, right? Sometimes that's a legitimate question, right? Because people might record 5 minutes worth of footage, but they might chop it up and show you 30 seconds worth, and that 30 seconds worth might be the most damnable part of the situation that doesn't really illustrate why it may have risen to a certain level. Right. All right. So that's enough about that. But I just really want to get in to talk about a little bit about like just what's going on in society and the fact that the things that you have to prepare your children for. And to be honest, if you're an adult, right, things that you have to prepare your own self for, right? Um, and so we see it in every segment, right? We're seeing it in entertainment, we're seeing it in politics, we're just seeing it in normal everyday life, right? We're seeing it in sports. We're seeing the music industry, acting industry, like allegations and rumors and behaviors and actions that are just off the damn chain. And then you got to ask yourself, with so much stuff coming out, is this all just made up? It's all just part of some made up thing that's going on in the matrix, or is there some truth and validity to some of the things that we're seeing, right? And then some people will say, well, what difference does it make? Why does it matter? Well, sometimes where there's smoke, most of the time where there's smoke, there's fire. What does that mean? That means that this stuff might not be happening in one segment of society, right? Might not just be happening to one group of folk, right? We might be seeing what's playing out on the big stage as the big stage being a microcosm of what's going on all over the place. Because I know when we emerged from COVID, we learned a lot of things, right? There were families who unfortunately lost their homes. There was the merging of families. And in my field, um, I learned a lot of things about the impact of COVID outside of the disease itself, but the impact that the disease had on people's personal lives, their lifestyles, their economic situations, their housing situations. So, for instance, let's say you are a married couple with two children, and let's say the breadwinner um, succumbed to COVID and is no longer with us, and so the home that we've lived in, if things were not set up in the estate to be able to keep the home, then hey, maybe mom might find herself staying with a family member that ordinarily mom would never have stayed with, and now mom's kids are also in that family member's house. And let's just say that family member has some other people in that house, right? What we learned when we emerged from COVID is it's not uncommon that mom's kids might have had some experiences that they shouldn't have had. And had their family not been impacted by COVID, it's likely those kids may not have ever had those experiences, but by circumstance and by situation, they did, right? So when you start to hear about some of this stuff that's going on about human trafficking, when you start hearing some of this stuff about, how families are impacted, how young people are impacted, um, when you get Ryan Garcia going on X and tweeting some of the stuff that he was tweeting yesterday, um, I don't know the full scope of that, but it sounds like to me he saw something or he experienced something that scared him because he was calling on his Lord, um, and he was saying it wasn't right, and he was saying that he couldn't hold his tongue. Now, who knows what Ryan Garcia saw or what he experienced? But what is he? He's a celebrity, right? Um, and so what he's saying mirrors what I'm talking about in some aspects because he says something about the kids, the babies, and he can't stand by and watch whatever it is he's saying that he can't stand by and watch. Lord knows what or who, right? So anyway, I just wanted to make sure we bought you something this Friday evening from, I'm sorry, Thursday evening. I'm a day ahead of time. Thursday evening from Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. We like to have a new show launched every Thursday between 7 or 8. And so, I said I'm not going to tape a show this week and do all the fancy editing and all of that. I'm going to just turn the camera on and I'm going to talk to whoever shows up, right? And whoever shows up can talk to me, right? Because I do have a link. So if you even wanted to join me live, you can join me live, right? And then if you just want to put something in the chat, you can put something in the chat. And if you just want to sit and watch me talk, you can just sit and watch me talk too, right? But we coming up on 30 minutes now that I've been on. And for those who popped in and popped out, I just want to thank you for at least popping in for a second or two, right? We still growing, man. We just started in September. Me and Philly Cigar John, my co-host here. Y'all see the chairs empty. The chair's empty But she is definitely missed. But guess what? She's definitely here in the Sticks, Brims, and Stiletto spirit. I spoke to her earlier today. She's out with her girlfriends, and they are just enjoying themselves out in the Midwest. And really, I guess it's the South. I guess it's the Southwest, really. Um, so anyway, they're having a good time. And celebrating the birthday of one of our it's her friend, but mutual friends to us, wonderful young lady. So I just want to say happy birthday to Aga, enjoy your birthday. Philly Cigar John, Robin, Diamond, and the rest of the crew that are down there having a wonderful time. um, and I know she's going to be bringing you the Sticks, Brims, and Stiletto Conversations. I'm going to be bringing back Man Cave Conversations. So I want to close out by saying head over to Eventbrite and put in Bourbon and Beyond in the Park. Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos, Bourbon and Beyond in the Park in Delaware. Make sure you put in Delaware because there's a couple different Bourbon and Beyonds because it's going down this summer, June 16th on Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th. We are going to light up the park up in Townsend, Delaware. And again, I'm gonna put something in the description. I'm gonna also put something in the chat. But yeah, I want you to go to Eventbrite because we want you to come out. We got live music by Best Kept Soul. It is going to be hosted by none other than Patty Jackson from the Philadelphia area, and we want you to come out and have a good time. We're gonna have wineries out there, bourbon, sangria. Our guy Jamal Action Jackson, the owner and founder of Huck Spirits, cigar vendors. You want to come on out and all kinds of special stuff and food trucks, right? And you can bring your tents. You can bring your chairs. You can even bring your own food if you want. The only thing you won't be able to bring in is any alcohol beverages because those will be provided for a nominal cost to come out and enjoy yourself and enjoy the live music and bring the whole family out, right? Show dad a really good time. Men, we always saying we get, that necktie or that pair of socks every year, or that Scully for the winter, or a pair of driving gloves, right? Well, guess what? Come on out, whether you're a drinker or non-drinker, whether you smoke cigars or don't smoke cigars, whether you want to eat some good food off of a food truck or bring your own food, but come on out and have a good time at Firebase Lloyd, Townsend, Delaware, June 16th, Sunday, June 16th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. We are going to have a great time. We got vendors lined up for you. So listen, early bird tickets are only $30. You get all of that. You get a live band, you get wineries, you get a bourbon, you get a cigar vendors. You're also going to have all kinds of craft and clothing. And we're going to have, you like these nice hats? We're going to have a couple hat vendors out there. Bring dad out. Bring your brother out, bring your son out, your cousin, right? Whoever those men are in your life, bring them out, let them listen to some live music, let them enjoy whatever their beverage of choice is. I don't care if it's iced tea or Pepsi, or whether or not it's bourbon or wine or sangria. Let them enjoy their beverage, let them have a good time, and show the men in your lives that hey, you love them and you just want to show them something a little different this year for Father's Day. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. And again, was happy to come spend a little bit of time with our Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos family. And our community has grown. We finally reached 300. We ain't faking a funk here, right? We're gonna build it as slow and steady as possible, right? We ain't paying for no blue checks, we ain't paying for no views, we ain't doing none of that. We want organic, real people, right? Because we gonna keep it real, we gonna keep it organic, and it's gonna grow, right? It's gonna grow. What they say, you build it, they'll come, right? Come be a part of the family. So thank you for tuning in. Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. We will see you June 16th. But before that, we're gonna see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. for the next episode of Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. Until then, one love.